From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
Clouds are locked in across the Tennessee Valley here late on this Tuesday afternoon as we round out 2024 on this New Year's Eve. Here's a live look at the Arctic Air Skycam network. Overcast skies across the area. Colder air also filtering into the area on gusty west to northwest winds this afternoon. They've been gusting at times as high as 30 to 35 miles an hour off and on. We're into the mid to upper 40s for a large part of the area, 50 to 51 in parts of North Alabama. These numbers will continue to drop, but we're not going to get excessively cold overnight because the winds are going to stay up. It's going to stay mostly cloudy. That's going to keep it from dropping too far. We're likely to be into the mid 30s overnight. You see clouds bleeding southward here with the upper level system moving through. There have actually been a few rain showers just to the north of our area this afternoon. Those are staying off to the north, but northwest winds are bringing in this cooler air, and we're going to get down to the 30s overnight. Here's your forecast lows for tonight, mainly into the mid 30s on either side of the state line, maybe closer to the upper 30s down here in north central Alabama, close to Decatur and Hartselle and such, where it takes a little bit longer for the colder air to move in. Mostly cloudy skies as we head into the overnight. The northwest winds start to settle down as we go into tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a colder day, though. Daytime highs into the mid to upper 40s for most of us. Maybe a few folks stuck into the lower 40s. North of Highway 64 in Middle Tennessee, however, I think all of us are below 50 degrees. Back to sunshine as we head into the midday and the afternoon, if not the late morning. And then we're going to be quiet here for a few days on through Thursday and Friday. We'll have a clipper system Thursday night and Friday, maybe bringing a few flurries to the regions north of our area, places like northern and eastern Tennessee into Kentucky. I think that misses our local area to the north. Saturday, partly cloudy to mostly sunny. And then as we head closer to Sunday, there will be a system coming out of the plains, and that's going to be our next weather maker here, bringing us precipitation chances. And there are two different ways this can go, depending on the specific track of the low pressure area. Most of the models that we have are taking a farther north track with the low pressure. However, the GFS off and on has been on a more southerly track. I think the most likely scenario is scenario number 1 here on the map, where the track of the low pressure is just to the north of us. That's going to mean milder air, likely temperatures up into the mid to upper 40s for highs on Sunday. And that also means that for our local area of southern Middle Tennessee, North Alabama, it's likely to be rain Sunday into Sunday night. Although, as it first starts because of evaporational cooling, yes, there could certainly be some sleet mixing in, that type of thing. But temperatures are likely to be above freezing. We're likely to have rain, so not expecting an impactful wintry situation, most likely. However, we cannot completely ignore scenario number 2, because even though it's just the GFS doing this occasionally by itself, the last system that we had over the weekend, its low pressure tended a little farther south as we got closer. So we'll have to watch it just in case. This is not the likely scenario, but if the low pressure does track farther south, it would mean colder air as the system moves in and greater chances of a wintry mix Sunday night into early Monday. For now, that is not the forecast we are going with. We're going with the milder and rainy scenario for Sunday with the low track farther north, but we'll certainly watch it for changes as we get closer. We're going to be on the chilly side here for the foreseeable future. Highs in the 40s all the way through the weekend into the start of next week. Notice the overnight lows back in the 20s and 30s, and then even stronger push of cold air comes in toward the middle of next week. Notice we're talking about highs well down into the 30s as early as next Tuesday. Overnight lows down into the 20s, and honestly, I think some teens are coming as early as the middle of next week for overnight lows as a big blast of Arctic air comes south in the 8 to 14 day period here. We expect this time of year. Now, the extent of the cold air is going to depend on several factors, just how strong the trough of low pressure is in the east, whether there's any deep snowpack just north of us. If there is, that could help refrigerate the air as it comes in the middle and latter part of next week. So we're still a little bit far out to tell you just how cold it's going to be for the second half of next week. But this is at minimum going to be the type of cold where you need to winterize your home, make sure your pipes are protected, Make sure your vehicle is winterized and all those prep things that we talk about during the winter months. But this could certainly be some significant cold coming next week. Too far out for any idea of any potential wintry mess in terms of snow, ice, that kind of thing. Way too far out. We'll watch that as we get closer. Partly sunny skies becoming mostly sunny by the afternoon for your Wednesday here. Cooler. Daytime highs only in the mid-40s, dropping into the mid-20s tomorrow night with partly cloudy skies. We'll have to watch briefly for maybe some patchy freezing fog early Thursday morning. Very slight chance of that, so I'm not expecting big impacts or anything if it does happen. Sunshine here for Thursday, Friday, increasing clouds on Saturday, and then Sundays the system will watch. Rain is the most likely scenario. However, I do think some light sleet could mix in at the onset of it, but temperatures will likely be above freezing if that happens, so I'm not expecting impacts from that as of now, other than rain and maybe some gusty winds with it. Lingering showers into Monday, and then much colder air starting to come in by the middle of next week. That's Look at your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock this evening with another check of your local weather.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.